We've all gotten used to carefully choosing who sees what on Instagram, close friends lists, private stories, curated posts, but a new feature is flipping that idea on its head.
Yeah, it's called Instance, and it's all about speed. You snap a photo and send it instantly to your mutual followers. No filters, no audience tweaks, just real-time sharing. Instagram says it's more authentic, but some users are raising concerns.
When things move that fast, it's easy to lose track of who's actually seeing your post, opening the door to oversharing, awkward moments, or even privacy slip-ups. And if that has you thinking twice about what you send, there's another update you'll want to watch out.
Yeah.
And this is for your DMs.
The platform has gotten rid of end-to-end encryption for direct messages, sparking new questions about how private your conversations really are. Dr. Jess Galani is joining us now to explain what you should be watching for. And we're so glad that you're here for this conversation. But let's just break it down from the very basics. What is encryption? What does that mean?
So encryption is actually an ancient technology, and it basically means that you take information and scramble it into something that is only able to be decoded by people who have the key. So ancient Mesopotamia, the first example that we know of encryption was the scrambling of a recipe for a pottery glaze. But in the tech world, encryption means that that information is only able to be understood by, we're talking end-to-end encryption, by the sender and the receiver. So there's standard encryption and then there's end-to-end encryption. And what's changing for Instagram is the availability of end-to-end encryption, which is the highest level of security that's available.
So here's what's interesting to me. This is something if people are upset about, a lot of people didn't even know that this was an option for them to begin with.
Yes.
Because it was something you almost had to opt into or turn on.
Yes. So in 2019, then Facebook, now Meta, announced that the future is private, and they said that they are very committed to ensuring the privacy of all of our private messages, our direct messages, that they would all be encrypted across their platforms. They have WhatsApp, which is a messaging service that is still end-to-end encryption, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram private messages. And they were pulling back from Instagram. It actually never became available to everyone, and if you did have access to it, you had to enable it. And that's usually hidden deep in the settings of a platform where people don't always check.
Yeah, and so why did they decide to make this change now? Because it seems like they put so much work into suggesting that our messages were private.
Yeah, and building the architecture to be able to make them end-to-end encrypted takes a lot of work. So I think that the reversal really speaks to the fact that they are hoping to have access to that information that's contained there. They can do all sorts of things with it, including train their AI on the content of our DMs. They can use it to better market to us through suggested content or through advertising. So it is very valuable. And they also can, potentially, they are technically more vulnerable to hacks. So from external forces, there is a less secure way now.
Well, it's interesting because we're just getting into this whole world with our daughter, with our oldest daughter, and not using social media, but just guiding her through how to use the internet appropriately. And we just keep telling her nothing is private.
Yes.
Nothing on the internet is private to you. It can be sent to everyone.
Yeah.
And with this even Snapchat-like feature that Instagram has rolled out, it's kind of like you think it goes away, but nothing really goes away on the internet.
Yeah, I think that it's really important to tell young people especially that when something might feel private in a digital space, that doesn't mean that it's actually private.
Right.
And that's regardless of the level of encryption that something might have. It just means that, you should be very judicious in what you share and how you share.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Like, if I'm a user, like, what is it that I should be careful about not sharing?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that people need to take seriously. That this may feel very private, but it's so easy to take a screen cap and send it off to someone else. And with the instance that Instagram rolled out, I imagine that similar to Snapchat, it might send an alert that says that someone took or attempted to take a screenshot. That is one of the kind of privacy measures that is in place.
Interesting.
So
I don't use Snapchat. That's the
I
one
don't
thing
know
where I'm like,
either.
I'm not
No,
in that space. I feel too old to be in that space.
Same.
But let's talk about some of the options. If you do need to send something privately or want to, you mentioned WhatsApp. Is that one of the best ones to use?
There's Signal, and I would argue that Signal is removed from Meta. A lot of people who are majorly into privacy won't use any Meta platform because they can easily make this reversal, as we see they're doing. There's Signal, iOS messaging, Android messaging, all of that is end-to-end encrypted. Right now, Facebook Messenger remains end-to-end encrypted.
Really?
So there are lots of things available, but I do think that most people don't necessarily know the difference. And if you are a Gmail user, the content of your Gmail is only standard encryption. So if you are comfortable, putting lots of private information there, then maybe this isn't something that you need to worry about at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very
good.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess.
Yes. Dr. Jess offers commentary on both tech and culture on her Instagram stories and Substack newsletter. We'll link you up to those on our website.
Still to come on the show, KDKA's Barry Pintar is standing by in the newsroom with the stories you don't want to miss tonight on the KDKA Evening News.